wish I could die than be there. And what's so weird is that, it blows my mind that the wildest, greatest stuff of my life came out of the wildest, toughest, grossest stuff of my life. And this actually is the story of Easter. The biblical account, anyway. The story of Jesus rising is a lot more than rising from the dead. And the story of Easter is a lot more than Jesus rising from the dead to go to a nice place that we get to go to if we're good or believe the right things. But the biblical account of Easter is about Jesus rising from the cross, which was the most humiliating, disgusting, hateful place in the Roman Empire. This was something that no self-respecting person would ever be caught dead, literally and figuratively, on or around. It was something that Rome created to bring shock and abeyance to peasants and to subjects and to slaves. But no citizen would ever be crucified. No citizen was even supposed to say the word. And no self-respecting God would ever be seen close to the cross. In fact, there's all sorts of stories in religious systems of God's coming from the heavens and coming to the earth and dying and rising again. That's nothing new in Christianity. The unique thing about Christianity is that they say that God came and died on the awful cross. No wonder that our first piece of Christian art is actually a crucified donkey. Christianity was understood as wholly asinine. We wonder what the comedy of the cross is. It's that, something that only beyond Dumb and Dumbest. And then it's this crazy, wild, anything goes, anything can connect with anything else spirit that lives on the other side of that horrible, dreadful, embarrassing place. Much like the way my life just went in so many amazing directions. And moved through that really horrible place. Anything that is surprising and delightful and ironic, like a 100-year-old woman finally turning out that she's pregnant. It's like that, but even more so because the idea was that now the spirit of that potential now lives over the universe and it can come into any of our lives, no matter what we may be going through. And we don't know. Jesus says the spirit goes where it will. We can't predict it. But we can start looking for it and celebrating it and making that the main point of our faith journey. Then I believe we will be living as truly biblical people, seeing all the wild and wacky and wonderful things Jesus is doing, especially through the really crappy stuff. We don't know what will happen next. I came to San Luis Obispo, and I was invited to be part of the Arts Council. It was going to be something that would, give me friends, something to do outside of my church life. And it really was. And I got to help put together this wonderful fundraiser that we call Mardi Gras, which is sort of like what's happening in April. And Mardi Gras was like Mardi Gras, but artier. And everything was in costumes, and we raised a lot of money. It was really fun. And I always like to have my costume be in the theme of the dance and also be theological because I'm Pastor Jane. And one year, a few years ago, the theme was Walk on the Wild Side. So I got my crowd to come as the devil in a blue pantsuit. It was one of my weirdest looks ever. I was in this bright blue polka-dotted pantsuit with all the devilish accessories. And I was wearing that, the devil in a blue pantsuit, and I met this really nice guy that actually gone on a lot of dates and had a really happy time. And he's been my Valentine for several years and given me lots to do on Valentine's Day. And people will hear this story and go, of course, Jane, in the loopy, what goes around comes around way of God. Of course, that's how you would meet a person to love, would be in your pantsuit. That's so hilarious. And I go, I know that is hilarious. You know what's even more hilarious is that he will say that what he first noticed about the devil in the blue pantsuit was her tail. So